Learning target 6, use data from a sample survey to make predictions about a population. So first let's define some things. A population, this seems pretty easy. The total number of persons inhabiting a country, city, district, area, anywhere. So it's the total amount of people in that area that we're looking at. A random sample survey is using that population that we just talked about. So in this population, it's the random people in that population where everyone has an equal chance of being selected. So I want you to copy this down so you can pause and copy. All right, so here's an example. So there's this many people in Cedar Rapids, but we're talking about the random sampling from that. So we only are talking about 1,500 people right now. So in our sample, we're only talking about 1,500 people. So this many people said they will vote, this many people said they might vote, and this many people said they will not vote. So now we can make predictions. So the first thing we want to do, though, is we want to find our sample proportion. So when we're doing a sample proportion, we always want that number over our sample. So my sample for every single one of these, though, is going to be 1500, because that's the sample that we used. So if I highlight, here's the sample. That's my survey. That's the people's survey. That's my sample. So that's my sample proportion every time. Whoa. Thought I got out of that. Green. Okay, so 1500. So then we want the people who will vote. So here it says 1175 will vote, 300 might vote, 25 will not vote. So if you wanted to, sorry about that. Get all that. If you wanted to, here we go. We can put these as a decimal or percent. So 75 divided by 1500. So here we're just going to round this to 0.783. 0.2. So this again is going to be around 0.0167. So we could say that about 78.3% of people will vote, 20% of people might vote, and 1.67% of people will not vote. So remember, we just do this by moving the decimal twice to the right to get a percent. So we can use the proportion, we can set it up as decimal, we can set it up as a percent. So now we can use all this information to tell us about what we would assume the entire population would be. So we have what we know a sample would do, so we can apply that sample to the entire population. And that's just assuming, this doesn't mean exact. So I'm going to show you the most accurate way to do this. So we would set this up so we know that out of 1,500, what was the number? 1,175 people said that they would vote. So now we're trying to figure out how many people would vote out of that total population, 127,905. So the way that we solve this is we cross multiply. So then we're going to get, we have to do 1175 times, so I'm not going to write, I'm just going to do that here. So ready, 1175 times 127,905. So then we're going to get 150288375 equals 1,500 times x is just 1,500x. So now when we want to solve for x, we just divide. Right? This is from way in the beginning of the year. These will cancel, and we'll get x. So I take this number, I divide it by 1500. And so we'll get 100,192.25. So this many people, this is what we're assuming, out of the total population, this many people is what we're assuming will vote. So now you could do it, and if you're going to do it this way on a test, you need to show me that you're doing this, 0.783. So remember, this is our rounded number. So you could already have taken this number, divided it, and then just multiply it by this, times your total 127,905. So if we do that, 0.783 times 127,905 100.005. You're going to get a number very, very close. So this one is giving me 100,149.615. They're close, but they're off because, remember, this was a repeat. This was going 0.7833333333. So this is taking the exact numbers. This is doing this. So whatever way you're doing, this is why you have to show me your work. So what I'm going to count as a correct answer, like in my head, I'm going to look for this number. If you give me this number without showing me this work, I'm going to say you're wrong. But if you show me this work and then show me this answer, I'll count you as 100% correct. This is why you need to show me work. I need to know what's going on. So this is your like 100%, you know that's the right answer. This is, I'm being lazy, I'm going to do this, but I'm still going to count it as correct. So again, we can do both ways for this. So it's 300 over 1500 is x over 127,905. So I'm just going to do the same thing, multiply that and then divide. So 300 times 127,905. Then I'm going to divide that by 1500. So here I'm going to get 25581. So 25,581 people might vote. That's a maybe. Or you could do it as your, remember this was a 0.2 times 127,905, right? I think that was 0.2. Yep. So 0.2 times 127,905. And this one you get the same exact number because this wasn't a rounded number. So either way is fine as long as you're showing me your work. Either show me that you did this proportion or show me that you're doing 0.2 times that. Okay, so for not, this is going to be either the 25 over 127. So it's, oops, the 25 over the sample is how many out of the total. Or you can do the, what was it, 0.016, what is this? 0.0167 times that 127,905. Now these are going to give you your different answers because this was a round, remember this is 0.6666. So I'm going to do 25 times 127,905 divided by 500. So here I get 2131.75, and over here I would get 0.0167 times 127. This one's going to give me 2136.0135. All right. So depending on what you're going to do, either show me the proportion or show me that you already took the proportion, divided it, and you're multiplying now by a decimal. So you can either just multiply this and then divide by that, or multiply this already divided times the total. So before class, a random sample of I don't even know how to pronounce that, Ely, right? That's the town around here. Shows that 160 people out of 192 surveyed are Iowa fans. So that's our sample. If the population of Ely is 1,798, predict how many people in Ely are Iowa fans. So you're doing the same kind of thing. I just want you to show if you're going to do a proportion or if you're going to multiply. So make sure you actually show your work for which one you're doing. All right, so you're doing that before class.